What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about leveling in Gotham Knights, specifically how the enemies level in respect to you. Now, this was a thing I thought we had figured out. I thought they actually gave us the full answer 2 years ago, actually. I think around DC Fandom time when they did the press tour, the press circuit. They had a lot of interviews, and in those interviews, one of them, I think it may have been Game Rant, it could have been somewhere else, they had confirmed how leveling works for enemies. Now, my interpretation of this is that's just how enemies work in terms of the free roam. When you're going around the world, when you're fighting enemies, when you're doing kind of like the crimes, kind of like the side missions like that, that's how the enemies are going to level up. They actually, I guess it depends on how you want to view it, but it's almost as if they updated it, right? They kind of gave us the last remaining part of the leveling. Now, I want to thank Josh for sending me this. This was an interview from Esports Extras, a very odd place for Gotham Knights to do, an interview, but I do want to thank Josh for sending this to me. They talk about, although the weight of the RPG elements is high, the title can be enjoyed as a traditional action-adventure. Contrary to titles like AC Valhalla, where he progresses through the main story, is slowed by level requirements that force you to play secondary, here you don't have to participate in the side activities if you want to focus on the main story, promises the executive producer. While Jeff Eleanor strongly recommends playing the side missions, if possible, he agrees it's not necessary. We have recommended levels for missions, so you know if you're ready for it. But we don't block the player. If you don't have the recommend level to play it, you are free to do so. Now, again, I don't always love the word, and it's a nitpicky thing, all right? It's maybe a me problem, whatever. I don't love some of his answers. He answered some stuff on the Discord, and the way he answers some of them are just very weird. Here, again, if you take it at face value, here's what it says, right? Again, what we know from 2 years ago, if you're out in the world and you're exploring and you're fighting enemies, they're going to basically level up with you. Now, there was a caveat. They did say back 2 years ago that while they level up with you, there will sometimes be enemies that are stronger, slightly, and there'll sometimes be enemies that are slightly weaker. There'll also, as the game goes on, there'll be different kinds of enemies, like elite enemies, and they'll be, difficult just in their own because you have to play them kind of a certain style, all right? That's what they said 2 years ago. Now we have that there's, I guess that, it doesn't sound like that necessarily has changed, but now, because I actually did think the levels would level up with you as well. I guess not. Now, that's not unheard of, okay? Levels do that, or I guess games do that for missions. It's just, I thought, because they never said this before, I thought that it was just everything was going to level up with you. But again, we have recommended levels for missions, so you know if you're ready for it, but we don't block the player if you don't have the recommended level to play it. You are free to do so. So again, this isn't insanely unheard of. You're going to have the mission. It'll give a level. It'll say, level 35 is the recommended. You can do it as a 20. You most likely won't be able to do it, but you'll be able to try it. So it seems like with this information, we now have everything. We now have the full leveling experience or discussion that they have said. The thing, I guess, will be the interesting stuff, right, is we know there's random crimes. There's gonna be random crimes throughout the city. There's gonna be exploration. They didn't say what, but there's gonna be something that you do that ties in with detective work, whether that's finding Riddler trophies while doing detective work, or maybe something completely different, right? You're gonna have those things, and those things I think won't be leveled, right, at all. But then, the Mr. Freeze thing, or any of the side villains, right? Do they have levels? That's really, I guess there is still one thing that is the only thing that's still kind of up in the air that they haven't said. I'd like an answer to that. It's not the biggest deal in the world. We can figure it out, when we get the game, I guess. But I would admit, well, if it was me, I would say you don't have to be a certain level to do the side, because it's side stuff. Even though it's villains, and they're big deals, and what they're gonna probably say and do could be pretty awesome, right? I don't really necessarily think you need to put them behind a level, but yet again, you think to The Witcher or any game really like that, yeah, side missions also have kind of levels that you should do them on, and some side levels actually could be higher, right? You could go down that path. Maybe the last couple side missions could actually have a higher level than the main missions. Normally in games, what tends to happen is the main missions will raise by it'll be level 5, then 10, then maybe 12, then 15. So it'll be nice numbers, but it'll max out pretty substantially lower than the max level. So the level in the game's 50. You can go up to level 50. the main story may max out at like recommended level 35, but the side missions may keep going. There may be a side mission for 42 and 47. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be fun. I mean, I like that idea. Again, at least we know the full thing. It's just those side villains, those side quests. What do they go up in level with you, or do they have a recommended level? Now we just don't know about that one, because he's only talking in this little quote. He's only talking about the main story, so we'll have to see about the other stuff. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on so you know when these videos go up, and I hope to see you all on the next one.